Hey, what's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here from GuitarJamz.com. Real happy to bring you another lesson, heavily requested. It's really great tune, not too hard to play. A couple cool little parts. I'm going to break it all down for you. Also, I have that bonus link down there. I send you stuff that's not on YouTube. Plus, you can reply back with your song requests, and I log them in. It helps support me and all that. I really do appreciate it. But let's zoom in, break the tune down, and hopefully have a little fun doing it. Here we go. All right, like with most Foo Fighters stuff, there's typically 3 or 4 guitars going on at various times, all that. So anyway, I kind of broke it down the key points. You know, we got this little really pretty plucky intro thing. And then we've got just basic power chords. And just keep in mind, you can play power chords in different spots. I'm kind of working it out to where it makes the most sense, where you could play it by yourself too. So just, you know, those are both A power chords. I think you get the idea. So anyway, starts with really just an open A string and the octave. But you could play an A power chord by going, or even that whole thing right there, the open A, 7 on D, 9 on G, 10 on B, or just these two, or just an octave. It starts with the octave going, but you could also just go right into your open A power chord. And that's the one I like for the rest of the song. It's a lot of fun to play too, especially with distortion. I just like that chord, the 1-finger A power chord. The E's muted by my thumb, and then I'm really just playing. Okay, so I'm going to show you the chords of the intro now, because then when I show you the little plucky part, it's all based on those chords. So if you can kind of deconstruct or look at how they relate to each other, it'll help you as a guitar player. So here we go. It starts on A, then an E. Now if you're playing this as like an acoustic cover, you could play a straight up E major chord. I mute that G string with my index finger, so you get an E5 or an E power chord. So you've got A power chord to E, and I'm playing it as a power chord. Then a B power chord, which is 2nd fret, 4th fret, 4th fret. However, if you're playing an acoustic, or you're just playing, you know, a solo cover or something, it's a B minor chord. And that's definitely the note in there if you're singing as well. So we have A, and this is the, you know, most of the song. A to E power chord, B minor or B power chord, then up to the D minor. And even with the distortion on that one, you are hearing that middle finger note right there. So that's D minor. So you got A to E, B minor or B power chord, up to D minor. And there's a cool thing on that D minor, it's octaves. So you've got the 5th fret on the A string, the 7th fret on the G string, and that middle D string's muted by your index finger. So you're not barring it. And that is the 5th fret, so it's 5, 7, 8, 10. Right? Or right, and let me show you that little plucky intro thing. So remember, the first chord's A major. If you took the D shape of A major, it'd be right here, and it looks exactly like a D. I could even climb up. D, whole step to E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A. That's not the chord he's playing, but this is what it's based on. You can take that and then modify some of the chords, and if you've been playing guitar a while, or you know a little theory, or not even, you can just move your fingers around and try and come up with something a little more interesting. But what he does is he kind of stays in this little zone for all the parts. So instead of playing an A major like that, instead of that note, he just went a whole step down. So you have to change your fingering. So it'd be 10th fret with your pinky on the B string, but it's still coming from that, or that's how I think of it. Ring finger on the 9th fret of the G there, and then index finger on the 7th fret of the high E. And so basically what you get there, instead of an A major, you're getting an A add 9, because that note right there is the 9th note up the scale. Or an octave of the second note. But don't worry about that. Don't let that get you confused. Don't get scared. Fancy lingo, don't get scared. So we've got this little shape here. 9, 10, 7, and we're gonna go and so we're gonna pick the G string, then the B string, then back to the G, just like that, then the high E, then the B, G, B. So watch. And so it just does that as he's holding the A power chord. But now look at what it does once the chords start to change. So it does that over the A, then E, and now all we have to do is we're going to move our pinky down a half step. And if you were to actually analyze that, it's based off an E bar chord right there, more or less. So the first chord, then we just move our pinky down a half step, and we're going to play the same pattern, but on the very last note on that B string, we're going to move the pinky back up to the 10th fret. So it starts with this shape. Pinky goes a half step down until the very last note. Like that. Okay, the next chord was a B minor. And if you just take your ring finger off and bar this 7th fret right here, it's based right off this B minor chord, but we're keeping that pinky right there on the 10th fret of the B string, and that gives us a B minor 7 chord. So it's right again based off the next chord in the progression. And if you don't understand that stuff, that's okay. This is still a really cool part to play, but obviously I'm trying to be a guitar teacher here. So this third shape is barred on the 7th fret of the G, B, and high E, and then pinky's added to the 10th of the B. Same pattern with the picking. So let's put them all together so far. Pinky goes down a half step, back up on that last note, bar it, ring finger comes off, same pattern. Based off the B minor. Okay, the last one, I talked about this in another lesson very recently, that Beatles chord change, which is, for this instance, when we're thinking of an A major key, it would be D minor instead of D major, and it gives it that dramatic, you know, the dramatic pull on our heartstring. But what we're going to do is we're going to try and keep it in that same shape, so that index finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the high E. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our ring finger up to where our pinky is, the 10th fret on the G string, and then index right there. So it'd be 10, 10, 7, same pattern. And then I think he alternates it. I watched a live version. He adds the index up a half step. Now, if this shape is too much for you and you're really having a good time with the part, you can play that same D minor 6 is what it's called, by playing this 5, 6, 7 right here, which comes from it's a D minor. Add your pinky to the 7th fret of the high E, and you can do that same pattern. Alright, there's just a bridge which just plays on that A chord but twice as long. So so that was twice as long. Then an E power chord, twice as long. Now we need one new chord. Instead of the B power chord, it's an F sharp power chord. So if you're playing acoustic guitar, it's an F sharp minor chord. So 2, 4, 4. Okay, so E. So then it goes to well, you could play a straight up D power chord. And then you could add that middle finger to make it D minor for the second half of it. Or alright, that was the tune. Hope you got something from that. Remember, I got those bonus links right down there. Thanks for all the support, you guys, and hopefully I'll bring you another one of these real soon. See you later.